Hello everyone, and welcome back to Explain the Charts. Today, July 28th, 2025, we're taking an in-depth look at Microsoft, ticker symbol Microsoft, a tech giant that continues to dominate headlines and investor conversations. The biggest news on everyone's mind is Microsoft's fiscal fourth quarter earnings report, which is set to be released this Wednesday, July 30th. Wall Street sentiment is overwhelmingly bullish, with all 19 analysts tracked by Visible Alpha holding a buy or equivalent rating on the stock. Their consensus price target stands impressively at around $578, which suggests a significant 12% upside from the stock's closing price on Friday, July 25th, which was a record high at $513.71. Leading firms like Wedbush and Jefferies have set ambitious price targets of $600, while Citi has even called Microsoft its top pick, with a target of $613. These bullish outlooks are largely driven by expectations of continued robust adoption of Microsoft's AI chatbot, Copilot, and strong performance from its Azure cloud computing platform. Analysts anticipate overall revenue of $73.86 billion for the quarter, marking a healthy 14% year-over-year increase, with intelligent cloud revenue specifically projected to jump 22% to nearly $29 billion. However, it's not all smooth sailing. Just last week, news emerged about hackers targeting Microsoft customers, which briefly put some pressure on the stock. Despite this, Microsoft managed to hit new all-week highs just 2 days ago, demonstrating remarkable resilience and underlying strength. Now, let's turn our attention to the charts to see how this news aligns with the price action, starting with the daily time frame. Looking at the daily chart for Microsoft, the long-term trend is undeniably bullish, characterized by a consistent upward movement since early 2024. We can clearly see periods of strong upward momentum followed by healthy, albeit sometimes sharp, pullbacks. One notable event occurred in April 2025, when the stock experienced a significant drop, hitting its 52-week low of $344.79 on April 7th. This level acted as a very strong support, leading to an immediate and powerful reversal. Just 2 days later, on April 9th, Microsoft staged an impressive comeback, surging over 10% in a single day on substantial volume, as you can see right here. This strong rebound from the 52-week low reinforces $344.79 as a critical long-term support level to watch. Moving closer to the present, in late July 2024 and again in October 2024, the stock entered consolidation phases after significant rallies, digesting gains before resuming its upward trajectory. Fast forward to late July 2025, and we see Microsoft trading near its current all-time high of $513.71, reached on July 25th, with a 52-week high of $518.29 also registered on that very day. The brief dip around July 24th, corresponding with the news about hackers targeting customers, proved to be temporary, as buyers quickly stepped in. Immediate support on the daily chart appears to be forming around the $495 to $500 level, which previously acted as resistance. Now, let's zoom in on the hourly chart to examine the short-term price dynamics. On the 1-hour chart, covering the period from early July 2025, we observe a generally bullish trend with some short-term volatility. Notice the sharp dip and quick recovery around July 9, 2025, where the price dropped from approximately $497 to $494.11. This was immediately followed by a strong bullish candle, pushing the price to over $505 within the same hour, accompanied by significant volume. This indicates strong buying pressure emerging at lower levels, preventing a deeper correction. We can identify short-term support in the $500 to $501 range, which has been tested multiple times without breaking. On the resistance side, the $506 to $508 zone has seen several rejections, acting as a ceiling for short-term rallies. The price action on July 17th saw a clear breakout above this resistance, propelling the stock towards the $512 mark. This breakout is a significant short-term bullish signal, suggesting a continuation of the upward trend as we head into earnings. For an even finer detail, let's switch to the 15-minute chart, focusing on the last few days leading up to July 25th. Here, the intraday volatility becomes more apparent. On July 23rd, we saw a notable drop from around $507.99 to $502.03, likely linked to the hacker news that caused brief market jitters. However, the chart quickly recovered, showing strong buying interest at these lower prices. The period around July 24th shows tight consolidation, with price fluctuating between $506 and $512. This consolidation typically precedes a significant move, and indeed, on July 25th, Microsoft saw a strong push. The price surged from its open around $512.465 to touch its 52-week high of $518.29. However, this peak was met with immediate selling pressure, causing the price to retreat and close at $513.71. This suggests that while there is strong bullish sentiment, the $518.29 level currently acts as a significant short-term resistance. So, what does all this mean for trading Microsoft stock? Reasons to be bullish in the short term are numerous. The upcoming strong earnings report, the overwhelming analyst consensus with high price targets, and the ongoing demand for AI-driven products like Copilot and Azure. If Microsoft delivers a blowout Q4 earnings report, especially with strong guidance on AI monetization, we could see a decisive break above the $518.29 resistance, potentially paving the way towards $550 and even the analyst targets of $600 to $613. This scenario has a high likelihood given the current market enthusiasm for AI and Microsoft's track record. For long-term investors, the dips like the one in April 2025 around $344.79 represent attractive entry points, as the fundamental growth story remains robust. On the bearish side, a major earnings miss or cautious outlook on future AI spending could trigger a significant pullback. The stock could retest its immediate support at $500 to $495. A break below these levels might see it fall further towards the $450 range, which acted as strong support in June 2025. While less likely in the immediate context of earnings, unexpected macroeconomic headwinds or a broader tech sector correction could also exert downward pressure. When deciding when and what price to trade, keep a close eye on the volume accompanying price movements. High volume on breakouts or breakdowns confirms the strength of the move. For short-term trades, monitor the 15-minute and 1-hour charts for intraday support and resistance levels, such as the $510 to $512 zone as recent support, and the $518.29 high as immediate resistance. Look for clear candlestick patterns around these levels, like bullish engulfing patterns near support for long entries, or bearish patterns near resistance for potential short-term reversals. If the stock successfully reclaims and holds above $518.29 after earnings, it would signal a very strong bullish continuation. Conversely, a rejection from this level on high volume could indicate a temporary top and a potential pullback. The upcoming earnings call is truly the defining moment. Pay close attention to management's commentary on AI investments and growth, as this will be a key driver for future price action. Any revision to capital expenditure plans will be closely scrutinized by the market. To recap, the key price levels to watch for Microsoft are the immediate resistance at its 52-week high of $518.29 and psychological targets at $550, $578, and $600 to $613. On the downside, initial support rests at $500 to $495, followed by a more significant level around $450. The long-term foundational support is the $344.79 52-week low. An upside breakout above $518.29 has a high likelihood if earnings exceed expectations and AI growth remains strong, potentially seeing the stock reach $550 with strong momentum. A downside move to $500 to $495 has a moderate likelihood if earnings disappoint or if broader market conditions sour. The biggest thing to look for is the Q4 earnings release on July 30th, specifically revenue from Intelligent Cloud and management's tone on AI. Monitor for significant volume spikes, especially around earnings, as these will confirm directional shifts. Thank you for joining us on Explain the Charts for this detailed analysis of Microsoft. Be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next market breakdown.